just 5 nights away from the conclusion of the 2022 NFL season. I'm your host, T Money, bringing you coverage of Keeping Score, our final game prediction show. You know, we've been with this crew for almost a month now, and we have one more episode together, so let's get right into introductions. First of all, the Candyman. How's it going today?
Okay, I'm doing pretty good. We only get to pick one game, so maybe that will help me this week with my picks.
Oh, look, we're going to talk about your picks in just a minute.
Okay.
Let's just say they have not been good, and that's a bit of an understatement. Now, the other three of us, our picks have been pretty good. But before I'm not going to give you guys just a softball question. M-Dog, we're going to go to you. Or Big Daddy, actually, we're going to go to you. And tell us about your biggest takeaway from the conference championship weekend. Let's get to some football talk here.
You know what? It was an interesting weekend. You know, I was hoping that the 49ers are going to do a little bit better, but, unfortunately injuries kind of hurt. I'm kind of surprised about the two teams that are in because they were not the teams that I picked. So, but you know what? I'm looking forward to the Super Bowl, nonetheless.
They were not the teams that I picked either. We both went 0-2
I know.
over the conference
First
championship
week.
weekend. It was rough. It was rough going out there. M-Dog, you got one game right. You did.
I'm feeling hot, baby.
Okay.
I'm feeling hot.
Yeah.
Woohoo! Yes. One name, 2 words. Boston Scott. Boston Scott.
That was great.
That's it. The little guy, 5'6", got himself in the end zone. And I don't know if I'm going to go out on a limb and say he's going to do it again, but somebody will get in the end zone on the ground for the Eagles.
If you missed our last show, I went out and I said there was no shot Boston Scott would score a touchdown. He could only score against the Giants. I was a hater there. M-Dog insisted otherwise. M-Dog was right. So look, he has all the momentum coming into our championship round. Me and Big Daddy, we both went 0-2, and let's bring up the standings so you guys see where that made us fall. Look, we got 3 of us at 8-4. Very good records relatively. We've all been good. And then you got the Candyman at 5-7. How does this happen? Like, we know you're not good at picks. Like, we've accepted this. But how does 5-7 happen?
I think I just get a little too nice. I asked my little son who loves playing Madden. I asked Mrs. Candy, who is so Homer Bills fan. It's like I grew up in Western New York, and the Bills are going to win the Super Bowl. I got to go fantasy football mode when you're a mercenary. You just pick players. You don't root for your team. It's easy when you're a Jet fan like myself to do that, but I go a little more mercenary mode. Pick more with the non-emotional side, non-fan base.
So basically, you're saying you just have to cut off your family.
Cut off.
And in that way, you'll do a little
get
better
in trouble.
on your picks. Yeah.
Get in trouble from an 18-year-old senior right here, cutting the family off.
But it would be worth it, though, because you'd be winning our pick shows.
It's not worth it.
I think we're more important than your family.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
Wow.
I'd argue for that. Now, look, you've been bad. No one's denying that. We all accept that this is probably one of the worst performances we've ever seen on the channel. But we're going to be nice here, and we're going to give you a chance to win our pick show if you can do the following things. First, you have to tell us which player, and we're going to get to this in a minute, which player will have the most total yardage, not counting passing yards, in the upcoming Super Bowl. That's the first thing you have to do. Second, you obviously have to give us the winner. You have to give us the correct winner of the game. And you also have to give us the correct final score. If you can do all those 3 things, all will be forgiven, you'll be redeemed, and you'll be crowned champion of Keeping Score. Are you up to the challenge?
Well, I already won the Lady Bing Trophy and the Sportsmanship Award. But let's get a little more competitive. We'll take it to the next level. Ready?
I don't think you can say that with a straight face, but continue.
Yeah, continue.
Most yards?
No. We're going to get to those in just a minute. Don't cut us off here. We have a process here at WBTV. So we're actually going to save you for last. It's yours and important.
Sure.
For the rest of us, we're going to have a little conversation here, Big Daddy, I'm going to go back to you. What's the player that you're expecting to step up in this game? Without giving your champion, we're going to save those.
You know what? I think that it's going to be lots of short yardage passing. So I think that the recipient of all of those good short passes is going to be Dallas Goedert from Philadelphia. I think that his plays, he's got the good hand. I think it's going to be a game for tight end versus tight end. So, and I think Dallas is going to come up on top.
I remember Philly with Zach Ertz in the past, and you saw Zach Ertz start to get old, injured. You're wondering, can they replace him? Dallas Goedert steps up, and he's done an excellent job, really, of filling that role. M-Dog, what about you?
I like your pick. like your observation.
Thanks.
We talked about tight ends last week.
We did.
So maybe this week will be the week for them. But I don't think so. I think it's going to be about the run game. Once again, 2 weeks in a row, we got Gainwell. Is that his name?
Yep,
they got
Kenneth
so
Gainwell.
many
Correct.
talents on the ground there.
do.
So you got
And it's
Gainwell,
awesome to see
and
the
then
division back to where
I
it is
think
this
Sanders
year.
will also do it. So they got
Gainwell trying to get around the
they got the
edge.
1-2 punch on the ground there. Look at that clip! What a beautiful run right there. So I don't think San Francisco really stopped them last week, and I don't think the Chiefs will be able to stop them here. I'm not saying I'm giving you my prediction for the victory yet, but I think the Eagles will be successful on the ground because they got the 1, 2, 3 punch with Boston Scott, baby. I don't want to jinx things, so I'm not going to say he's going in the end zone this week, Boston Scott. But I'll be happy to be wrong on that one when he scores.
So you're not willing to fully commit to Boston Scott once again.
Well, because they got 3 options.
He scored in 2 straight playoff games, though, you know?
Well,
Can he make
then
it
the
three?
odds are kind of against him that he'll score in a third. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
you know, ride the high hand, though, maybe.
Yeah, well, but they got hot hands. So,
Right,
I
the whole
mean,
team's just on fire.
You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, I'm on fire, baby. I'm on fire.
I think someone's getting a little overconfident
Yeah, I know.
in our
Just a
chair.
little
It's okay. It's okay. I
Calm
want to
down.
give Candy a
We're out
little
of control right
confidence
now.
that he could win.
Yeah, so Candyman, this is your big pick. You can't
My
nail
big
this
pick.
You can't win. Who is it?
Well, I need the trifecta of Gainwell, Scott, and Sanders to establish the running game. Because when you establish the running game, what opens up?
On 4th and 7.
The passing game.
Walks
And
in
we need
for
former
Smith.
Heisman Trophy winner
Touchdown.
Devonta Smith
Devontae Smith.
to show his speed and get a long strike, maybe 2 long strikes, maybe over 100 yards, a touchdown or 2, and that will help the Eagles do what they need to do in this game.
Devontae Smith. Now, is that your pick or is that a family pick?
That's my pick. Actually, no. That's Jack Candia's pick. Yeah,
But
he's
wait,
a
I thought
9-year-old,
we
he loves
said we weren't
Madden.
going to do that.
Yeah, I thought we were cutting off
Well, he
the
plays
family.
Madden, so he knows all these players, who's iconic, all these ratings. I don't know. He's like, Dad, watch me play Madden. And he said, I'm going to pick Devontae Smith. So I went emotional again. But that's a pretty good pick, though.
It
9-year-old.
is.
It is a quality pick.
If you,
Jack also wanted me to mention that Mrs. Kelsey is torn in this game because each of her sons are playing for opposing teams.
Yeah, that's a
He
big story.
said you got to mention that on the broadcast.
That you absolutely do, and I'm glad
Yes,
that you
yeah.
brought that up.
That's for Jack.
I think
top of
Jack.
things.
I think Jack should be brought on our show. one
We
time.
should, he'd be good.
I think we gotta get
Yeah,
him
maybe we can
involved in the program. in the
Grab
coming
Sanfordville,
years.
bring him up here.
Yeah, absolutely. I'd love to do that.
Yeah.
My pick, Big Daddy, you talked about the tight end game. I absolutely agree with that, and I think the best player, the most talented pass catcher in this game is Travis Kelsey. I mean, this guy's just absurd. What he's done. It's an old clip here, catching from Alex Smith, you see, but he's been dominating for so long. I mean, he is, I believe, 31 years old now, which not even that old, but as a tight end to still be producing the way he is, absolutely absurd. The debate, it might end up being between him and Gronk, possible best tight end of all time, because Travis Kelsey is just a whole different animal. He is an absolute stud, no way around it. Now, look, we've set up the game, we've set up the players. Now we've got to get into the teams. There's a lot at stake. We have a 3-way tie here. We have Candyman looking to finesse his way into a victory. So, M-Dog, why don't you lead us off here? Who is going to win this game? What will the score be? Dog Pound represent. Let's hear it.
It's horrible because, as a rule, I do not root for Dallas and I do not root for Philly. But I'm going to go with the Eagles to win, but hoping the Chiefs will win for the record because I don't want anybody to think I'm, chickening out from the NFC East there. So, Eagles will win.
Now your final score, 31-27. That makes
31-27. Bunch of
Yeah.
touchdowns on the ground and maybe a punch in with Big Daddy's man, Dallas, DG.
That right there would be a very fun game. Now let's clarify, because we know how Candyman wins for the three of us. Because some of us will end up with having picked the same teams. If there's a tie on who picked the same teams and we're tied for record, tiebreaker is you have to have the most points, or you have to pick points as close as possible without going over. Eagles score 59 points, you're over. Or the game goes 59 points, you're over, you win
I
that
didn't
win.
know that, though, if I went over. I didn't know that. But I'll stick with my number.
Stick with your
I
number,
might
yeah.
have gone a little lower.
You might have gone a little
if
lower
I
to
had
play
known I couldn't
conservative.
go over. But
Well,
that's okay.
why
It
we
is
don't
what
like
it
to talk
is.
about. We like to get the
You gotta-
unbiased
ignorance
source,
is no excuse.
We played a little curveball there. Okay, so next pick, Candyman, your turn. Who's taking it?
I tend to go higher if you can't go over, and that's why I picked the score to be 34-27. in favor of the Eagles. I just think there's just too much talent. Dallas Goedert, we talked about the trifecta of running backs. Hopefully Devonta Smith gets a long strike, A.J. Brown, and Slay all day on defense. See what happens. I want a high-scoring game. I'm the type of fan I am. Defense is great, but if you want to watch defense, watch 30-30 on the Bullies from Baltimore about the Ravens, the 2000
That's
Ravens.
pretty good.
Which was it was kind of a boring Super Bowl 35. They destroyed the Giants. Giants didn't get one offensive touchdown. Their only touchdown was a kick return. I just watched that last night.
You know what, Candy?
Still hard to like Ray Lewis,
You
but
know what,
Billick
Candy?
was funny last
You know
night.
what? Let me tell you something. You got all these antidotes, all right? But you got to come through with the picks. But the problem is now you just picked the same team that I picked, so I don't know if I should be worried about that or not.
Oh man! Oh, that's good.
Wow.
Good comeback. Good comeback. Yeah.
Things are getting
Touche.
heated. Things are getting heated here
Touche.
in the studio. But we have the same exact pick so far. We have the same exact pick so far. Big Daddy, are you going to continue that trend?
You know what? I think it's going to be a close game. I think it's going to be a decently scored game. But I think I am going to go with the consensus. Eagles, 27. Chiefs, 24 for a total of 51 points. Game decided by a field goal.
Less points.
So-
But same team pick.
Same team pick.
Oh, boy.
But I think it's going to be just decided by one field goal. I think that's what's going to end up
Now you
happening.
just balanced out Candia a little bit.
I guess.
For
yeah.
me, anyway.
Yeah.
Uh-oh. I saw T-Money. I saw his facial expression.
I'm not happy with it. Like, come on. Are we forgetting who is playing quarterback for the Kansas City Chiefs?
You said that last week,
Patrick Mahomes.
but it was another guy.
Patrick Mahomes.
Yeah.
Patrick Mahomes is the best quarterback in the league. The fact that people are saying Jalen Hurts is anywhere in the neighborhood of Patrick Mahomes is absolutely absurd. Mahomes has been dominating for 5 full seasons now, and he will continue that through this night. Give me the Chiefs. Not even in a close game. 37-24, my final score. I think that they prove that they are the best ran team, best ran franchise in the NFL, and that they have talent to be a potential dynasty as long as Mahomes is quarterbacking this squad. Philly is a great team. Look, I hated on them early in the year. I can't do that anymore. The talent's undeniable. They play well. They're well coached. Sirianni has done a good job. But Patrick Mahomes, Andy Reid, Travis Kelce, all the talent they got on defense will be more than enough to give Kansas City the win. Now, look, there's our picks, right? We got those in. Stakes are pretty clearly set now. For you two, if the Eagles win, which they won't, it'll go down to point total. Candyman, you got to nail the trifecta.
Yeah.
If Kansas City wins, team money will reign supreme yet
I noticed we have
again.
the same point total, 61.
Supreme.
Yeah,
We went high, you and I.
we did. I'm expecting a lot of points. Most of them scored by Kansas City, though, and that's where we all differ. I just can't believe the 3 of you would all
I just
pick
think they're
Philly.
too
Let me
talented.
tell you something. You got to go to the dictionary. You use these words supreme, smoking us. I mean, smoking us, you wouldn't even be tied with us. We wouldn't even be able to win if you were smoking us. Come on.
Look,
T.
I had to
Money.
make it interesting. I had to let you guys. I had to get some games wrong. Everything's planned. It's not like I knew who would win every game. I could be 12-0 right now, but I let I picked
I-
wrong.
We all let our biases get in the way, But
And I-
finally,
Right.
I saw the light by picking the Eagles now,
And I could be like the fantasy football guy who sneaks to the playoffs and has the hot run
Yeah.
and just takes
Yeah.
home the gold.
No, it could very well happen.
Who was that? You mean me?
No, I could be that guy because you guys are throwing me this little scenario here. Pick the trifecta.
Yeah.
You know what?
That's
You're
true.
talking
And
crazy
get the
right
prediction
now, but
championship.
if it were, I'm not even gonna. You know what? I was gonna say maybe we should let him in on being closest in points, but the way he's talking now, no, you got to be exact on points.
Oh yeah, he has to be exact.
Oh,
too.
yeah.
What?
Yeah. We're not gonna let
The crazy talk.
Price is right. Can't
And
go
you
over.
just
Can't go over.
badmouth
But you
the
want to
Giants
win
Always go high.
$10,000.
against the Ravens.
We go
Gotta
out
be
of the
closest. Can't go over. That's it.
We go out of the kindness of our hearts to give you a chance to win the show, and you go out and disrespect
I
us.
mean, we haven't said anything
You're
about
gonna
the
like it.
Jets today,
Yeah,
have we?
yeah. Do you want us to say something?
No, I don't want to
Should we
jinx
roll
it.
the tape with the
I don't
butt
wanna-
fumble?
No bad juju.
No,
I
no,
wanna be
no.
positive.
That's okay. We'll stay positive here. And let's end it on a positive note, actually, because we're coming to the end of our show. We were talking about this pre-show. Candyman, what would be the first commercial of the Super Bowl?
It's funny because we were talking about this pre-show. And
What product? Yeah.
Yeah, what
Well,
product?
so my thought process, I'm trying to think what companies have commercials every year.
Uh-oh. Are you going to name drop right now?
No,
Chips, Doritos.
Okay.
They have commercials every year. I think they're weird commercials, not one of the funny ones. But they
Pre-game, pre-show, you didn't say that, by the way. You had mentioned another product, but I'm going to go with
Curveball.
my original product.
Curveball.
Yeah.
Okay, and what is? Oh, we're going to Big Daddy first. Actually, what's your product?
I think that the product is going to be a motion picture trailer.
Ooh.
So
Any
That's
ideas
been
on
up there in the last
like
couple
it.
of years.
I'm going to call
Like
the
it.
Marvels because Disney's owns everything. So therefore, I think they've got enough money to buy the first spot.
Well played, Big Daddy.
Yeah, I could very well see it, and that's how you really make a splash, right? You want to promote your movie. First commercial of the Super Bowl. M-Dog, what about you?
I'm going with an automobile. Car commercial.
Car commercial.
Car commercial.
It's a very safe bet, and I'm going to play it safe on my pick as well. Give me a phone commercial. I think Apple will go out, and you don't see him promote much on the Super Bowl. You don't see him do much, but I feel like it's shaping up. They're a bit of a sleeper here,
Do you got some inside information? Are they putting a commercial in there? Because
I'm
you
not.
know all of our choices. There's going to be,
Yeah.
definitely.
Yeah,
Did you hear anything or not?
first-
I'm not allowed to disclose that if I've heard or
The
not.
first
Yeah,
commercial.
just like you
is
can't tell
probably
us where you get the ideas for your picks either.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I can't disclose any of it,
First commercial, a good process like you guys took, is a company with lots of money.
Lots of money. Who has
Apple,
more money
Disney.
than Apple?
Yeah.
Right.
Body.
Yes.
Doritos.
Doritos.
Frito-Lay.
Right, Doritos advertises so much, and they, I feel like everyone's gonna know about Doritos by now, right? We all know we eat Doritos, and the Super Bowl advertisement helps that, I'd say.
But they have come out with classic Doritos commercials before.
They
So
have.
I will agree
I think
with
we all have good ones on
Candyman.
that.
Yeah.
This is
Yeah.
going to be fun to see.
It'll be fun.
To see, are we going to make him get the commercial choice right too to win?
I feel like we should. I
That's
think
called
we
the-
should.
No,
That's
we
called the
want to
Grand
win.
Slam.
How do-
Okay,
how do you
That's
do
called the
it?
Grand
You
Slam.
got a lot of work
That's
ahead
what
of you.
I'm
saying.
You got a lot of, praying to the
I
floor.
don't
It's not the
think
Triple
anybody
Crown.
wins
It's called the
it.
Grand Slam.
Grand Slam.
The deal was trifecta.
We
Triple
should
Crown.
make them hit the Grand Slam. You know what? We'll give you more commercial talk on our recap show when we come back in week 2. Crown a champion, and which will be me, by the way, in case we had any doubt about that. But look, it was a fun show. We had some good conversation. I've had a lot of fun breaking it down with this crew. Candyman, M-Dog, Big Daddy. I'm T-Money. Wishing you a good night.